Hey YouTube, it's Mickey D here with episode 89 of Stationeers. Pretty much right after last episode, and yeah, I know I just said I was going to do a couple streams of Hellion, but I was thinking about it right after the stream ended, and I want to expand the power generation because we already tested the base when it was down at 8 kPa, and we weren't losing atmosphere. So I'm wondering if the gas generator is what's causing the loss of oxygen, and either it's just using more than it used to, or it's because the tank's empty. As it coming through the filtration system, it's getting bumped into um, the O2, which would then pull it out of the base, which that would make sense. But before it wasn't really seeming to use that much, and maybe they've increased the usage on it. And I watched this; it's flicked on a couple of times. Um, so I want to get the base so it doesn't drop down to 20%, which is normally what we want anyway. And we're going to start off by making more batteries to do that, because we are still generating more power. We're generating more than we're storing in a day. So our storage capacity is not maxed out yet. Um, so if we throw a couple of batteries in, and I'm going to do some mining runs here soon too, because we've got some, but we're starting to get a little low on some resources. And usually at the rate we expand stuff, it's, once we start getting a little low, then that's when we start kind of, the next thing we know is we're kind of out of stuff. Oh, and again, what are we? What are we out? Oh, gold and steel. Okay. Well, I'm so glad I just put it all back in the machine. And gold. Yeah, I think we're actually. I mean, we used a ton of wiring not that long ago. And yeah, we've got iron, but yeah, that's the last of our steel. I'm gonna start off with putting in 2 more batteries, and we'll see how that helps. Um, I have a sneaky suspicion we might be able to go 3. And yeah, random dead people. Oh, look, and now you're a skeleton. So I've noticed that. I'll load the world. There'll be nobody here. Somebody did die here a while ago. I think it was Gopnik. I'm not sure. And just randomly, at times I load up the world, there'll be a body or a skeleton for no apparent reason. It's like it's stuck with making them a body. And no, he hasn't popped back up. Yeah, it was the same thing. I forget. I'm so horrible with names. What's his name popped up back up outside. All right, so I'm just opening this all up, and we're gonna come down here. Let's grab. We have no heavy wire on us, which we will need. Heavy cable. We'll just. Oh, I don't want to swap it. Heavy cable, and we probably don't need the regular cable. We don't need that much because we're just expanding off of what's already there. Question now is if that transformer is going to be in the way, which it might. I think it might. So we might go ahead and move these back, like I was mentioning an episode or so ago. And we'll just kind of get everything situated here. Okay. And we'll get this taken care of. All right. So 1 battery. And was I just leaving 1 in between? Yeah. So we can stick 1 there. Obviously, yes. Now we do have this one. When I kind of started off, I was placing them farther apart. So we can I could just move that battery back. I just have to move that line over because that's the one that's running to the ACs up above. And then that actually, if we move this one over this way a little bit, move that one over, we can actually fit another battery right there. So it would not necessarily be a bad thing to do. And if we get much bigger, we are going to have to be expanding down here. It's probably actually worth it not to move the, I don't know. I like having the batteries all in one room. So it might actually be worth it to, yeah, I was going to say if we move this over here, this can always be moved somewhere else. But I was thinking if we put a doorway in, then we can have another kind of room like this that we can, you know, just start lining more batteries up. Yeah. I don't know. Because I honestly, I don't really want to like move this whole room. I mean, the circuits could stay here. That's fine. But, you know, this all ties into the base. So we have to be like moving all of these lines, which I don't know. Yeah. So be kind of expanding it. And fortunately, there's no room to like put a staircase down to go down somewhere or something. I mean, we could do something, but I don't know. I'm thinking keep it stay at the same level and just put like a doorway in and then maybe have another thing of batteries or something. I don't know. Or we could just move all these, you know, push it over something and maybe make it like one bigger room because there's not really much circuitry or whatnot in here. And thankfully, I think everything on here comes off of basically like this side and runs through here or down through here. So we would be able just to push it off. I know. When I originally made this room, I actually made it smaller than this, and I said, no, I want it bigger. And then, okay, this will probably be big enough. And then I was like, I was so tempted just to make it the same size as upstairs. And I was like, oh, no, that's going to be way too big. But yeah, I should have just made it the same size as upstairs. And do this. And this is the fun part where we have to, not a corner, I want a three-way. Where we've got to run underneath for the data line. Okay, and three-way. So yeah, I still might get to Hellion today. I'm not sure. All right, so there's one. And let's go ahead and we can leave that one. So we'd have to move this down here, which is doable. Should be, yeah, we should be able to run this right here instead. And then we'll just, actually, it needs to bend down. And we should be able to just move it and then just put a hook underneath. So basically how that one is now. And luckily, this is pretty much just the ACs. So the transformer for one of the furnaces does draw in, and we will lose all the power in that when we pick it up, unfortunately. And if we move, yeah, that over. I guess we're just going to have to pick them up. Oh, there's a random direction to be facing. All right, let's not have things randomly connected. That's the data line, so probably don't really want that to be tied in. All right. And yeah, we can go ahead and move that there. And we'll go ahead and pull that up, pull that up, pull that up. Pull that one up, and pull that one up. Three-way junction, and that can be back to a straight. I'll go ahead and flip it on. Straight. Not the corner. Okay. So we gotta hook the data back up to that one. Oh, there it is. I was like, I know we should have another one. Now, I could do that. Problem is you have to pull up the other one so you can flip it on and then put it back down. So I like still having access as close as you can get them, and still I really wish they'd put the power switch on the front or the back. It looks like the sun's going down. No, the sun hasn't gone down. Oh, yeah, okay, it did go down. It's just we're underground, so it shines through. All right. Hopefully that's not gonna be in the way. No, I think we'll just miss that, so that'll work. All right, this is the one that's going to be a little interesting because that data port's got a tie on there. Though honestly, we could tie it up here. It doesn't have to tie it over there, so that's fine. And I did throw in 5 more solar panels earlier, a couple episodes ago. I did it off camera, so. But we were getting more power generation anyway. We could actually move that over one more too if we wanted to. Okay, yes, so we'll want that one there. And then we should be able to do one right there. And luckily, I think we've pretty much already dug all of this out. Oh, that's weird. Look at that. We got a crash on the data network. Must be because of the data analyzer. I was saying I've never had the data crash before. It's always been the pipe network. All right. And yeah, we can go ahead and place that down. Huh. I wonder if that kills. Ooh. Oh yeah, it would be on that. That's fine. No, as far as I know, I think we have had one data crash before. And if I remember correctly, it doesn't actually break. I don't know. I don't remember it breaking like the base power. So if we do that. Now, we had this a corner. And honestly, we could just do that as a corner and then tie the data into it. Because the thing is, we got to pull off of this line so we know how much power potential there is. And let's see what we got. Yeah, you need to be tied in there. And you need to be tied in there. So there, and there. Okay, So that should all be tied in. We're still going to do that one. Can't forget about that. I'm trying to remember what that one going down from is. Maybe that's not the... Hang on, I'm going to cough. Oh, that's where the generator ties in. Yeah. So the coal generator runs down and then ties in right there because it needs to be on the supply side. Which honestly, now that we have the line of batteries over here, we could tie into the supply side on this side. But so if we do move these, then oh, and I'm stuck. There we go. Then it would be worth it probably to do that because that would save us some line. And three-way junction. Okay, so there's all of our power tied back in. And now we need, let's see, we shouldn't need any more heavy cable. We should be good on that. We actually might, no, I think we'll be fine. Oh, let's turn those on. Turn those on. Oh, that's just going to run constantly because it has no idea the circuit's not reading for the power potential. So it's not, the calculation's off. So it's basically if that's reading as 0, then it's going to throw it off and make it just run, which it can give us a charge. But I don't want to just burn through the gases either. All right. And all right, we need to go grab. I'm going to toss those over there for now so they're out of the way. We need to go grab the drill. So if we open this up, chances are we are going to need it. Though most of that is already drilled out because we've already ran the line down there. Yeah, so see, it's reading 0% because it's basically dividing by 0. Okay, and we put that one in. That one was there, so we shouldn't need to go back any farther than that. Oh, actually, yes, we are. Toss it there. And okay. So we'll drop that down there. All right. And more for the wiring. So we need to get our data lines moved over to the correct spots. And, oh, right on the corner, really. All right, that one's good. Those should be all good because, yeah, we haven't gone back that far. And we need to change this one because we got to tie the data line into it. And so now hopefully by adding this many batteries in, we should get to a, hopefully we won't charge up to 100%. I don't think it's been a long time since we actually was at a point where we were not charging to 100%. Oh, we missed this one. So, I mean, we were kind of close before, but so that's good. That's good. there. Straight, straight. And we'll do that. All right, so there's all of our data lines, our inputs, our outputs. We still got to straighten that one out. And we've got to hook up that data analyzer, which can just be on that. And then we can just, I guess we can just change this to a junction. Not that way, junction that way. Okay. Come on, thank you. Ugh. Sometimes trying to hook these cables up. Okay, so now we just have to reset this. This is the data. Data. And very nice, the sun just came back up, so oh, really? We have to go through all the solar panels? That's like 50 solar panels. And I really hope I didn't just miss it. Ah, there we go. Cable analyzer. Power, not potential, power actual. So potential is 25 megawatts, actual is 6.1. And that should be now reading. No, we're still at 0%. Should we grab the, oh, maybe it's our, oh, potential. Okay, so it's not the actual, this is the potential. And I keep passing it because there's only 3. Okay, power potential. There we go. And how many batteries are we up now? 2 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we need to update battery count. 12. All right, now the circuit should be reading correctly again. All right, let's just turn on the jetpack. Instead of trying to leapfrog the batteries. Okay, there we go. We're at 67%. Now we're not having that big of a draw because all the ACs and filters are basically still not reconnected yet. So, which is going to be this line right here. So we need to open this up. And we need to open, so there's the one we busted, or that's the original line. We need to tie into that. And we want to, we'll just toss those up there. And we should just be able to do a corner. And yes, we still have them on us. And yep, it should line right up. Okay. Now we can let that cycle and see where that gets us for the power. All right, now this we can button all back up. Just double check. Data's tied in. We know the circuit's working anyway, but data's all tied in. Power is all tied in for the output. They're all green, so they're getting a charge and or having a draw on them. And our data lines are all tied in over there too. Okay. And our input lines are all tied in. And input lines are all tied in. All right. Yeah, so I gotta figure out what we can do with that. Maybe we will put a door through there, because obviously this room is now full. That unless we make another storage room somewhere else and basically just tie it in on this side. Because really we just need an input and an output. Or we could branch off of the solar panels somewhere, come down. And look at that, no sheets left over. Very nice. Button this all up. And hopefully our gas generator should not be kicking on anymore. But we will see. Looks like, I would say we're still going to get a full charge. We end up not needing that, surprisingly enough. Yeah, I really wish you could stack these. Or they make like a taller, maybe later on they'll make like a tier 2 one that's like 2 of these or something. With some extra capacity. All right, so let's run up here. And we'll go ahead and pot that back. And then it's going to be, let's see, where's the sun at? So we haven't hit noon yet. Oh, yes, we kind of have. Okay. So we're a little past noon. So I'd say we're going to hit 100%. Yeah, we're definitely going to hit 100%. So we could definitely do another battery. Question is, where do we put it? Oh, nice. And that's with the wall heaters running. So now, obviously, the ACs weren't draining on it all day. And actually, these are now all off because the circuit shut off. Oh, well, that's not going to be a very good read because... Oh, is that because the data network crashed? Now, granted, they were disconnected, so it should have... Oh, yeah, because the circuit's not going to kick them back on because the circuit is still running. It thinks it's already sent the start. So I guess the question is... Oops. -10, 17. So not up to temperature, not up to temperature. That one has no temperature, so that should be off. It's fine because the tank is empty. And we got to save. 17 negative. Wow, that's really cold. So that's everything coming in from outside. Yeah, which really does drop the temperature in the tank. Huh. Oh, that's right. We shut all that off. I'm so weird not seeing the those valves running. Oh, that should not be on. Oh, it hasn't pressurized yet. I think I've got it set for 7K, so 7 MPa. And it hasn't got enough oxygen back through yet. So I'd say that's probably where all of our oxygen's been going. Is that running? All right, and where are we at? So we're gonna have to let a day cycle with the ACs running to find out where. And honestly, we should let it be 2 days, because that way, if it charges up to 100%, well, we're pretty close to. We're at like 100% now, so that's fine. If we weren't at 100%, we'd have to. Yeah. So we're just hitting 100% as the sun is going down. Obviously, that was without the ACs and whatnot running. So, but as long as we're at 100% at the end of the day, then that would be the theoretical max in the system. And we'll let it run overnight, see how low we get down to. That'll tell us if we have enough storage. And then, which we didn't quite hit, but and then we'll let it run through the next day and see how much we charge up to, and see if we do charge up to 100% with everything running. That's weird. That looks kind of broken. It's not really spinning. It's not really spinning either. That one's spinning. I wonder if if that's a representation of how well the machine's working. Yeah. Huh. Well, I guess we'll have to see. I notice that sometimes these kind of seem to spin a little bit slower. Sometimes they seem to spin a little bit faster. Yeah, so the sun's down, and we're at 95. And yeah, we've definitely drained out basically the O2 system. Oh, that was weird. So 94, yeah. So, but as long as we're not hitting down to 20. I mean, we can drop down as long as it's not dropping down so low. And with the heaters on, that's like, the heaters do throw it off. I mean, at least they did before, because it's such a massive power draw with the heaters. Which we're close. I mean, they're cycling. But I think it's the O2. I really got to get that broken off, and then we can just throw a heater right in there. But where that's coming in at negative 59 from the stuff it's pulling in from outside. I mean, if there was actually some, if we had some reserve in there, like 1 MPa or more, preferably more is better, then that little bit coming in would not be dropping the temperature that much, and it could just maintain it. But so it looks like it's cycling through, and it's such a low flow coming through it. Well, actually, there shouldn't be anything cycling through it. That's why, because there's no returns coming back in. So all that's going into there is the stuff that's being gathered from outside, and then it's dumping it into the gas it's dumping it into the fuel mix for the gas generator. Huh. But all right, so we're gonna go while we wait for a night to cycle to see what our power drops down to. Figure out. I think one of these. Yeah, there we go. We can combine those. And since I just noticed, we can go ahead and change the jetpack tank out. Oh, what are we up to for CO2? It's collecting it. So it definitely helped to mess with the atmospheric pressure outside. All right, so I'm trying to figure out the way I want to do the next part. So as I've kind of mentioned, I want to, oops, yeah, let's close that. I want to work on getting the ore processing kind of automated. We're going to hook up a sorting, we're going to make a sorting system, and get this out of here. Though I'm thinking about sticking it in the wall or, automating this. I like to have one kind of here so that if there's one thing we want to run through, I want to keep a furnace set up to run manually, basically. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I don't want it sitting inside here because we're polluting the atmosphere. So might actually, maybe we'll do a little push out right here because it only needs like a 1x1, or 1 cube or, 1 frame block basically. And then we can just run a pipe or a chute in and a chute out. So it'll, we can just drop it in there. It'll run through and then dump, return it to us. But if we have it behind the glass in basically like a 1x1, we can just have it connected into the return system, and then it'll just collect any of the gases because I do want the CO2 off of it, and the pollution. We do not need that tank in there. And I think that's actually a tank set to be... there we go. And that one's pretty full. Pretty full. And make a couple tank storages too, it looks like. And we don't actually need 3 of these. I'm going to recycle one of these. 78. So we're not dropping near as fast as we were. Okay. And yeah, 1 tank won't actually give you anything back. You got to run through a few of them. So yeah, so I started making all of this, which, wow, we've gone through a lot. This was all the way filled up from like here all the way with pipes. And we did use some of the frame blocks, but not that many. So yeah, I made all this and the steel plates, which looks like we burned through all the steel plates too, in preparation for doing the doing the expansion for the furnaces and whatnot, and the ore sorting, and then so we can get, because after I want to get the ore sorting situated, and then onto that, I think I'm leaning towards we're going to do regular furnaces, the arc furnaces, for the regular ore smelting. We'll smelt everything, get it into ingot form, store it in ingot form, and then, which I guess we're going to try to use chutes to store it. And then maybe what we can use is a stacker to split out, as we need it. I guess is the best way to do it. Yeah, because that way you can combine it all in there. And then we'll have a smeltery set up which I never checked. Do you get, if we put ingots in, do they outgas as well? I don't think I've ever checked that. It'll be something worth checking, because that might get around the whole having to set up a purge before we smelt um, in the system. Yeah, so that's definitely worth taking a look at. And yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to go on a mining run soon. So 69, that's not bad so far. You know, depends on how close we are to sunrise. Um, so yeah, the thought is that I guess we can kind of do a block in behind that. Question is, how are we going to make sure? I guess we can go from the corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks in. And we're going to keep an eye on this. We're just going to pop back in when the sun comes up. Oh, now we have to wait for that to cycle. And it looks like that finally hit. Yes, 7. So now if we go all the way and this does not run, if we don't drop below 20%, the generator does not run, then we should not lose any more pressure. If we do, then there's something buggy with the base. Oh, did the sun come up? I think the sun came up. It did. So we only dropped overnight to 66%. Now, how does that work? We added 2 batteries. We were dropping to 20% before, and now we're only dropping to 66. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Because we shouldn't have, you know, which we were obviously dropping below 20% because the gas generator was kicking in and bringing it up. And it wasn't just running like once. So I want to see if how far we charge up. So we were 68. We'll see how much it charges up to. Now, we could be dropping so low too before because the heaters were kicking in. So it's not all the ACs. I mean, I think we were at the point before that when the base was unpressurized, so none of the active vents were running and stuff, with just the ACs, we were getting enough, we had enough extra that the generators were not kicking in. I mean, I like having the gas generator for if we absolutely need it, but the plan is basically that it never runs. You know, since we can get the solar, then we should, you know, I mean, ideally we should be able to size up the system big enough that the solar is going to meet all of our demand, you know. And honestly, I could put the gas generator at like 5% or something like that. You know, the 20 was just an arbitrary number. That, you know, which by then we had a lot less. When we initially set that up, we had a lot less batteries. I mean, we only had like 3, 4, or something like that. So 20% of, you know, 3 or 4 batteries is obviously not near as much as 20% for, you know, 12 batteries. Well, it's actually more, but of the total capacity, you know. So, what do we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we should do that right, then we should have this enclosed here. And basically probably all we need to do is put one block there, but we'll do, just to make sure we don't miss anything. Should be able to do that. And then we'll get this one, which on I kind of like, I was going to say we could move it with the whole other kind of processing, you know, when we have the sorting system and stuff, but that's going to be a whole separate room. I mean, that's going to be a pretty decent sized room. So I'm on two minds of whether or not to keep that one in there or not, but I think for now we'll set it up in there because I'm not sure exactly where we're going to put the other one. I'm thinking about either pushing off on that side, or I was thinking about going underground as well, which is a possibility. Airlock. Why is that? Was it just because I was standing next to it? Maybe. All right, close enough. So 79. And yeah, sun is obviously not down yet. So we should now be able to come in here and pull this out without, now just in case, we're going to throw that down there. Okay, very nice. We did not depressurize the base. So we can take, oh, that, okay, I thought that just fell through. So then we can change this to a sheet of glass from a composite wall. And then we'll move that inside there. And we'll have to do, let me see. We'll have to depressurize the base before we get too much farther in it, because we'll have to run the line up over to tie into these returns. Theoretically, we're going to want it on the other side of the pump, just so it doesn't, if the base is depressurized, it does not backflow through the passive vents, which would be bad. I mean, no worse than it is right now, but, you know, if we can not contaminate the base, that would be nice. All right, so I'm going to leave this over here. And yeah, we'll have to, so I'll move that in there. We'll have a chute come through maybe on, yeah, maybe we'll just do a chute, an input on this side, an output on this side. And then we've got, I don't think there's, yeah, just the power lines running to these. So we can just put the circuit underneath the floor. Or in the wall, maybe. I don't know. 86. Did the sun come back up? Oh, the sun's still been up. Yeah, we haven't charged all the way back up yet. We're pretty close. We might hit 100. Which will be good. And yeah, we don't need anything in there. All right. Let me see if we did shoots. Let's do some wiring. 88. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to hit 100. I don't know. It's going to be pretty close. Oh, I love when that happens. All right, let's pull that. Oh, that's the, okay, yeah, the door circuit. That should be the only circuit in this room. Or, I call it the door circuit. It's not the door circuit, the light circuit. There we go. All right. Yes. Now I haven't figured out, like saying, where I want to put all the ore processing at. Maybe we'll kind of move the machines around a little bit and come off on this side, which won't be bad. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because the smeltery's over on that side, so which we might change that room anyway. Let's see, yeah, and oh, we can get rid of this frame block. Yeah, we'll probably do it right there. Now I wonder, where does the exhaust on this come out of? Because if we were to say just to have, oh no, it's not going to do it. Yeah, that won't do it. Because by the time we put the wall over top of the frame, it would cover it anyway. The question is going to be is whether or not we can activate it with the logic circuit, which I have not tested. So, and we can just do a corner. And actually, we're probably going to want to bin that up because those drop-off bins. Not an inlet. And which we can probably shoot outlet. Come on, one of these ways. I don't know if I want it facing down that way, though. Maybe what we'll do is a corner. And I want to check because the sun just came down a minute ago. Not a minute ago, but 93. Okay, so we did not charge up to 100%, which is not necessarily a bad thing because it means we're capturing all the power that we can. And technically, we might actually charge up to 100% now, since the heaters seems to be at temperature. So yeah, it looks like we're finally up to temperature. So should not, we won't use as much power. ACs are still running, so they're still, drawing a ton. All right, so yeah, what I want to do is corner there, and now let's see if we can put I don't want it to face down though. Oh, I know what we can do. I think this will work. Can we do a corner? Not that way. Not that way. Oh, wow. This does not want to turn the way I want it. There we go. Thank you. Corner. Okay, we're going to want the chute bin over there. Which could probably... yeah, we'll set it like that. And then we're going to need a chute, not bin. Not inlet, outlet. Very nice. There. Oh, really? It's behind the wall? Oh, and we've got to use a screwdriver to, or the drill to remove that. Okay. There we go. Isn't that gonna kind of... Well, no, actually, I guess it doesn't stick out as far as the other one does. Okay. Okay. And I think... Looks like that's data only. Very nice. Okay. Oh, right there. Yeah, I guess that is even now. All right. So, and we still got power to get room to get power into there, and we can pull data and power off of there. Okay. And let's do corner. Come on. Come on. Can I get in there? I know, now that I've kind of... which we can pull that block off, because we did go all the way to the corner. Oh, we can actually put the circuit in there now, too, now that I think about it. Oh, really? Okay. Let's try it with it. There we go. Very nice. And that's what we need to tie into, so that'll work. Show straight. And then we should need another corner. Actually, we can do straight. There we go. Come on. Get in there. Oh, we didn't need a window. Not that it really matters. I need more space. Oh, you're worse than, like, the wiring. I mean, granted, it's trying to build in a small spot, but still. I mean, yeah, that collision box for the furnace needs work. Hey, MacGyver. Welcome back. Really? Okay. Annoying, annoying. Let's try this. We'll just build the whole thing from back here. I know, right? Trying to build inside one frame box. With the base pressurized. Okay, there we go. All right. Straight section. Corner. Oh, we can turn the jetpack off. And why aren't you wanting to? Thank you. All right. Now, do we have one more piece of chute? Is the question. 70%. Oh, and I think we got an autosave. All right, we'll have to make another piece of chute, of course. I know there's some outside, but I don't want to basically run outside, run through the airlock to grab one piece of chute. Let's. Oh, all right. And I think we only need one. We should. I'm pretty sure the chute bin does not take. Yeah. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Thank you. All right. And then what we can do. Oh, you know what we can do too before I forget? And grind that down. Oh, yep. And actually, we're almost done with this stream, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna enclose it in here behind a sheet of glass, a window, and plan is that we will have it automated so that when we dump something in here, if it detects there's something in the inventory, it'll turn on, and then it'll drop out whatever we smelt here. And this is in preps of setting up the ore system, sorting furnaces. This will be the one, we'll keep one that we can run manually. So if we have some oddball thing that we need to run through or whatever, or, you know, we don't want to run a whole bunch of stuff through, we can do that. Yeah, and then you missed it, but we did an expansion on, we added 2 more batteries in. So I added another battery here, which kind of filled up this spot, and then I shifted this one that way, and filled up that spot. So, you know, they're kind of spaced evenly now. And then had to kind of redo some of the wiring and whatnot because we shifted the first one, which is where everything was tied into. So now the sun came back up, so we can see. All right, so we're only dropping down to 60. So we're charging up to basically 99, 100%, and then we drop down to 65 now. So our generator's not running at all. And the whole reason to test that was to find out if it was the generator that was using up the O2. But actually, I think we charged up to slightly less. I think it was 93. But the heaters were running. Oh, they're still kicking on every now and then. Yeah, we're right at borderline. So, which we might end up expanding and putting some more wall heaters in. That, or we'll do a buffer. Warm it up just a little bit more. Yeah, we'll probably do buffers at some point. I keep saying that, but I haven't made any buffer circuits yet. And let me guess. Now you're going to tell me that I can't reach to put the cabling in there. Oh, it flicked for a second. I really like a crouch. Oh, can we get to it from this side? Probably not, because, you know, it's going to hit on the... Oh, got it. And we're definitely going to need the data as well. On this... Oh, nope, we were there. Right there. So, data... Power... we'll go ahead and make this a... No, wait. Are we going to run into the issue of... Nope, we can run it there. Okay. And... Yeah, I guess we're going to want to run that way. I'll tie it up without the circuit for now. Oops. I want that to be a... Oh, actually... I guess we're going to want that to be a junction. I was trying to come straight back, but that's not really going to work, because... And I don't think we actually need to pull the data off of the output. There's not really a reason in this setup that we would need it. I guess we'll tie in this way. There we go. We're going to have a circuit here anyway. Actually, you know what? We'll just go ahead and do it. So we should need a reader, a writer. I think it's just a reader and a writer. So logic processor. Actually, we're going to need more than... let me see. We're going to need a reader. We're going to need to read... Okay. Yeah, no, I think we'll be all right. What? Well, we can open it up. It's just to help keep it from contaminating the atmosphere. So if we open it up, it's not, the end of the world. So let's do not a writer, logic writer. And which I probably don't want that there, actually. No, I don't, because we're going to have to put like a 4-way or a 6-way in there if we do that. Oh, actually, yeah, we don't have to. Yeah. I'm just going to turn it. I don't want anything to run in there anyway. We'll just do that. So, logic writer. Logic reader. Oh, no, not a logic writer and a logic writer. That's not going to work too well. All right. And we'll pull that up. Oh, and I'm going to cough again. Hang on. Maybe I was just talking really quietly. Um, yeah, I forgot I turned it off when I coughed. Um, yeah, no, what I was going to say is I'm going to put a passive vent in here and then run it up and tie it into the return system. That way, we can collect any of the CO2 and pollution that we generate from here. Though I suspect we're probably not really going to use this very often. I think it's going to be kind of like rare cases, but I do want to still have a manual way to run this after we get a whole sorting system and kind of automated system going. Um, okay, yeah, no, we want to leave that disconnected. I disconnected that for a reason. So let's see if we can read the furnace. Slot occupant. Yes, that's what we want to read. So if there's something in the slot, then, oh yes, logic reader, yes, that's the only thing you can read, is out to the furnace, arc furnace. Ooh, we've got an on and an activate, don't we? Oh, that's fine. We can just hit the activate. So if we'll just leave the furnace on. Yes. Which is of course on the other side where I can't reach it. All right. Let's do this just in case. Now, we should have frame blocks all the way around this. Except for at the floor. Oh no, actually we did do all the way around. Okay. Well, yeah, actually, because I did build frames all underneath all the floors. So this should not go horribly wrong, but just in case it does. Oh. Okay. It did not. It's just equalized the pressure. Okay. I was going to say, I could see doing that and depressurizing the base. All right. And okay. So on the outside, I filled this all in. So there's a 2x3 on the outside of the wall. Yep. And then this is the corner of the base, basically. So this wall continues straight off. So we should be able to open all this up without venting anything to space. But that's why I closed the door, just in case. And I wonder if I can, let's do this. If we open that, let's turn the batch writer off. And then we close it. And it won't know that we closed the door. Okay. So furnace should be on. And how did I get in there in the first time? Did I just jump over that? Oh, I guess I did. Okay, yes. I wanted to make sure if the power was off, it didn't reset it back to off. I kind of figured it would not, but just in case. Oh, and I will never be able to get back through here again. It's kind of like painting yourself in the corner, but it's more like burying yourself in the wall. Ah, thank you. Okay. So now, to test this, 8 gold. Sure, why not? Actually, let's not use gold, because gold takes a while. 4 copper. Sure, why not? Oh, and let's turn that on. So it should be, if we open this up, that should feed through. Hey, furnace kicks on. It runs. it should just drop out right here. Very nice. Look at that. And I don't know how this doesn't burn you when you pick them up, but all right. So, and then what we'll do is, if I haven't, back to there. Yes, that'll work. And actually, we don't even need to do that over there. We do need here. And we need here. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a, you're talking about right here on the front of it? Yeah, it's going to be a window. Did I say wall? I didn't mean wall. I meant window. I call them walls half the time because it's made out of the same part. Okay. Do we have... Okay, well, we obviously did not depressurize the base, so we can go ahead and open up the door. And we can turn the circuit back on. And 81. Yeah, very nice. I'd say the expanding the power definitely did help. What did I... Pipes. You know, I'm a freaking idiot because I have a whole locker of pipes in there. I looked right at it and said, oh, I have no pipes. All right. And we need passive vent. Okay. So... all right, let's run pipe first, which all we're going to do is tell me that is not a corner. Okay, very nice. Hey, Sedum. Sedum De Beers. De Beers. Oh, I like the icon. Oh, let me see. So, can we put it right in front? Where? Oh, yeah, it seems to increase the flow. It seems like the flow on the volume pump is limited by the passive ends. I gotta eventually spread them out probably a little bit more so they're not pulling from the same block. And I think should be able to clear that, so we should be all right. Yeah, I probably will. That's for the filtration, so it just needs to have a small, you know, a constant airflow coming back in. So it's not critical. But yeah, I had the one up and then realized it wasn't, it was running too slow. So I ended up throwing, I think it was over here. Yeah, we tested it over here. And in here, yeah, increasing that increased the speed at which it depressurized there. So it definitely, they were definitely the bottleneck in the system. But yeah, eventually I probably will run through and spread them out a little bit more. But since we seem to be getting adequate adequate filtration now. It's not high priority. And so I want to do a passive vent down here. And I really wish they didn't have that brace set up that way because it makes it hard to get through there. So I think we'll probably just run it on that side. We should be able to close that all up. Oh, actually, let's actually connect it, which would be a good thing. And I'm still waiting for that hover. All right, there we go. So now that's tied into our return system. And if we run anything through, that should work out pretty good. And then, yeah, and then it'll tie in and it'll go out into the tank outside where it can cool off before it gets jumped into the filtration system. Okay. And now we just need to put on there the passive vent in the window, and it should be all set. All right. And one of these rays right there. Beautiful. All right. Actually, oh, we don't have anything else to weld. We just need to put the walls back up. And if we do that, beautiful, no missing sheets. That is off, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the breathing. Floor grates. There we go, there we go. Oh, you know what? We're gonna need one more grate so we can stick it in there. Right. And do we have, oh, one grate. And let's grab, we're gonna need a glass sheet. We're gonna need iron frames. And I think we've got one, yes, we have a wall section already in here. Ah, very nice. Only didn't have the red cable sitting right there. So, wall section. And composite window. Which is, strangely enough, sticking the stuff through the window does actually work. And window. And there we go. So now, what do we got that, actually, you know what? We need silicone. I used the last of it up making the glass in my hand. So, very nice. There's our nice manual run, and it should be picking up. Oh. All right. Let's do. It should be picking up in our gas return system. If we're going to see it, I don't know if we'll actually see it or not. 17. I mean, it's such a small amount that those output. And I don't think those. I don't think the furnace actually outputs a lot of heat either, really. Well, there we go. Yeah, because we're getting X. So X just went from 6 to 7%. And that's the only thing that should be running through the pipe network. Oh, okay. So the passive vents tie into, here, I'll go show you real quick. Basically, this is for the base filtration. This is for when we depressurize the base. Oops. When, oh, one of those isn't, oh, okay. Yeah, we got an iron and a steel sheet. You should be happy. I got 2 more batteries added. So when, which we don't want that on. And then, so when the system is not set, so right now, if it's pressurizing the base or trying to get it up to 100, this is the normal filtration system, which basically just pulls in slower so that we don't get extreme airflows through the base. I thought they got rid of the double stacking on the batteries. And so this will just pull in a low amount to filter out any contaminants in the base. Yeah. And then so we've got our outputs, our intakes, they're separate systems. So the intakes all run to the filtration. When we want to depressurize the base, you flip the switch, shuts off the outputs, turns on the intakes, and it'll suck all the air in because that's a lot faster. If you try to depressurize the base with these, they take forever. And if we need to shut off the whole entire system, then that'll shut off the whole entire system. So there's no air return at all, and it can just let it equalize. And then that will also, we could just do just output if we wanted to. But well, that's good to know. It might be. I don't know. I'll have to check it. But yeah, so it's basically these both tie into the return system. It's just that these are for a slower airflow. And yeah, oh, we got a little bit more. No, we don't really have any more pollution built up. But yes, you missed it, Dark Dragon. We added some more batteries in. We're actually not reaching 100% of charge at night now. Well, we're getting pretty close, but we're actually using everything that we're generating now. So, or we're gathering from the solars. Or I should say, we're capturing and storing all the power possible that we can from the solars. So, yeah, I'll have to try. The only problem we might run into is I might have to move up the transformers because I think the lines would hit. And I can actually open my helmet. Really? My oxygen is critical even though it says it's fine and my helmet's open. But there's not too many batteries. We're charging up to like 93%. So that's working good. Oh yeah, probably since I've been running around in a jetpack and whatnot. Oh, you know what? Actually, because we ran the furnace in here. Oh, hey. What happened to the window? Did it blow it out? Interesting. We might need to change that to an active vent so it pulls in faster. Oh, yeah, I know. That's, yeah, we needed to up the batteries. Okay. So we ran that through. We didn't get any ores back. And it blew out the window. Okay. Do we have any more wall sections? I think that was the last wall section. And we can actually combine these. No, we were, oh, look at that, 97. Without the heater, well, the heaters, the base pretty much being up the temperature now, we might still hit, yeah, see, so we're just going to hit 100% basically. Yes, yes, yes. Walls. Okay, yeah, we got to make a wall. All right, so we're going to test that because I don't know if that blew the glass when it was ejecting this or if it was because of the temperature in there. So let's and I don't even know what we've. Yeah, we're probably gonna need a piece of. Okay. All right, and then we'll have to sit here and watch it and see what happens. I'd still like to know. Did that go underneath the floor? No, it didn't go underneath the floor. Oh, that would really bother me if I put that in the wrong way. We did put the silicone in there. Did I not put it in? No, we should have a stack of silicone around here somewhere. What does I already have glass and stuff in my inventory? Okay. Glass. We're going to close the door. And glass. Furnace kicks in. Okay, let's see. At some point, let's close my helmet. I hope they add some vehicles at some point. Well, I mean, yes. Yeah, well, hopefully we will get the ships too. All right, so we're going to sit here and see what is going to happen because obviously our last stock of silicone has mysteriously disappeared and the window blew out. So let's see, we're at 62 pressure right now. Why, so they can add roadkill? All right, so we're at 20, so we're 62.3 kPa, 20.4 on the temperature. Very nice. Yes. Pipe network, 151, 153. And that should max out after. It's not really gathering any temperature, but it's all right. If this blows out again, what I'm going to do is open up that block and go stand in there. I'll just put the wall section back up, and then we can see exactly what's going on. I'm wondering if when it's ejecting it, it's counting it as shooting it through the glass, but I don't know because you can input fine. Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll get some vehicles sometime soon. That'd be nice. Okay. It ran. It didn't blow. Okay. Well, it worked perfectly fine that time. Okay. There's our silicone. Our window's still there. Nothing's blown up. Huh. All right. I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on it and see if it happens again. Oh, you know what? Oh. I'm wondering if where the passive. Oh. I bet that's what it is. No, I bet it's where that's a passive vent, then that would let it equalize with this pipe, which is set to go up to 300. So I bet that when the air system, the filtration's running, it's kicking it in and allowing it to basically overpressurize that. So basically, it's letting that cube equalize with pressure in there, and it's getting higher. Which I thought the windows blew out before. It shouldn't get too high because there is a volume pump on there on the other end. So the pipe should, the pipe should be reading higher than what's in there because it should be pulling in. But I'm wondering if at some point it kind of backflowed. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so I have a feeling. All right, so what we're going to need to do is we either need to turn that to an active vent and just let it run, or actually, you know what? We can put an active vent there instead of a passive vent, and we can we can have it on with this. We can add another writer on the circuit, and then when there's something in there, it'll kick that active vent on. And then that should correct that. Okay. Because I don't want to tie it in on this side. Active vent or volume pump? We could do it either way. We could either put a volume pump on there and have it run, or we could do an active vent. I think an active vent would be easier, because then we can just come right off this. We can run a line right up this side. All right, so we will pull that up, change that to an active vent. Which I'm pretty. Oh, look, hey, there it is. It blew it. It blew the. Oh, I did not want to recycle that. Oh, well, it was a passive vent. So yeah, when the window blew last time because I hadn't picked up the ingot, it shot it across the room. That would have been a funny death if I was standing there and got hit by it. And what did I? No passive vents. And we are going to need a writer, though. And before I forget, let's change the suit battery. All right. We'll pull that up. And we're going to pull that up. Why does it seem dark in here? Or darker than normal? Yeah, we'll just throw it right here. And just a logic writer. Yes, yeah, that's fine. Because it's a single writer and there is no other active vents on that circuit. Now, obviously there is lights. Actually, we can just run that. That. And that. Okay. And we'll do that. So we're going to want... Oh, and of course I passed it. Logic reader. Thank you. Yeah. It was a funny line. I was just, you know, I was upset because I lost that passive vent. And I don't know why they don't put passive vents and active vents right next to each other. Gold and copper. I'm gonna have to go on some mining runs. We have been burning through the resources the last couple of days. All right. Thank you. But we have got quite a bit done, so, and I need more wiring. Speaking through burning through things. $63. Yeah, looks like we hit a little bit lower that time. But yeah, that's not bad at all. Okay. So, where? Oh. Don't be a pain. Thank you. And corner. Now I should hopefully just be able to change that. And we got it in there once before, so we should be able to do it again. Oh, yeah, that is true. Come on. Come on. Ah, very nice. Okay. So, if we do this, then we should... Well, if I can... Where... Alright, where did I leave the screwdriver at? I think I may have actually lost it. 3, 4... Oh, you know what? I grabbed a bundle of wiring, didn't I? You know, I was going to say something, and I decided not to. let me see. So we want to do active vent. And on. And we want to set that to inward. All right, there. Hopefully that should correct that. And let's actually connect that wire before we cover that back up. Otherwise, I'll probably be going, why isn't it working? So logic reader on, yes, and active vent. Oh, okay. So again, we will try putting a window on that. As soon as we make another one. Luckily, we have plenty of iron. Yeah, we're gonna go get coals, or not coal, copper soon. And we have enough for now, but definitely getting low on it. Okay, composite window. Thank you. And of course, I grabbed the steel, not the iron. All right, so let's try the 8 gold. Or actually, you know what? Since we need copper anyway, let's just do copper. And since it does take a while, that'll be a good test. And very nice. Active vent kicks right on. Should be venting that out. So we shouldn't get too high of any pressure in there. Oh yeah, look at that. 1.37 MPa. That's actually why, really? It's pumping out that much? I would guess the pressure was climbing up in there. Let's go make sure we're not going to have any pipes exploding. Oh. Uh-oh. I think we've got a mess up in the plumbing somewhere. Because we're at 1.48 MPa. Now, we did have the thing over here, but we straightened that out. But this should be, this is the return line right here. So this should match. So we're not getting airflow through. Yeah, 1.54, it's climbing. 60 MPa. But it's not passing through. So there should be, I mean, we haven't had a problem with this though, and this has been, all right, let's open this up a little bit. Oh, look at that. Oh, you know why? Ha ha ha. Okay, so that was a 3-way corner, and I replaced it with a T because I thought it was just a regular corner. So it's only connecting up to that. And we don't have... All right, let's do this. Oh, we have Ah, we have wire going through on either side. That's really annoying. No, it's not supposed to be before the pump. There's another pump at the end of the system. If I did it before the pump, then it could backflow through the passive vents if the pump is off. So I intentionally put it after the pump. I don't really want to do. I can't remember. Do we have a five-way pipe? We do have a five-way pipe, so I could do that. I think that's really dumb looking, but it would work. And we won't be able to see it because it's behind the wall anyway. Okay. Very nice. Nothing's exploded. It's not as exciting when things don't explode, but it helps keep things a little bit more productive. Why am... Oh, really? Why am I still sheet short? I guess I combined it in there, I'm guessing. Okay, so very nice. So now we can run that without contaminating. Oh, actually that should be on. And we have copper in there. We have no copper in there. All right, so there we go. We can keep an eye on it. Doesn't contaminate anything. And if actually not using it, we can just shut that off. All right. So there's a couple issues resolved in this episode. We've got our power storage and is now adequately sized for our power generation. And now the furnace is also in its own little area, so we don't contaminate the base anymore. And it's kind of semi-automated. So probably what we're going to do in the next episode is the ore sorting. Not sure where I actually want to put that yet. Unfortunately, the main airlock's between this room and this room. So that is, I did put one outside. This one still serves the same purpose inside, but outside, we do have the big tank, but this way, say like we run a whole bunch of stuff through the furnace, and it has to cool down. So if I run like a whole bunch of stuff through the furnace, or for whatever reason we get a whole bunch of hot gases, say we're running the furnace and the base still overheats or something, right? Um, if that all goes to the big tank and then it all cools down at once, and then it says, "Oh, I can open this valve now," and dumps it all into the filtration system. If we didn't have that small tank there, it could blow the lines, or at least one of the lines, before the filtrations were able to suck it all in. So I just left that small tank there as a expansion, basically. So yeah, so we have this one, which is currently at, yeah. See, we've got 4.52 MPa in there right now. Um, yeah, quite a bit of CO2 oxygen. Yeah. So, and now that we've actually, because this is heated up because of the furnace. So, as it's filtering stuff out from the base, it's not letting it return back in until it cools down. That way, we don't keep, we don't, we don't overheat the base by dumping a whole bunch of hot air stuff or hot stuff through the system. Also, it means we don't increase the temperature of the tanks inside, which, are basically should be cooled to the correct temperature. And so the only thing we're going to have to check now is so it is cooling. And once it gets down to 20 degrees, it'll open that digital valve and dump it into the base system. Um, Question is if it's cooling enough. I mean, it'll work, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, it's obviously kind of cooling at a decent rate, but my thought is to add a couple of we can tee off of, well, we've got the tee here. We can run off of that and run a radiator line and that'll let it cool off probably quite a bit faster. Oh, red light over that, red light over that furnace? Yeah, so it is cooling. It's cooling at a decent rate, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I think I might want to put some radiators on there. And because we've got radiator line coming into it, yeah, which is, it's right now it's set to, it won't kick in until it's over, it won't kick in the volume, yep, the volume pump until it's over 300 kPa. It could. I mean, either way, you're still, I don't know. I guess it would, you could, but, then again, you get to the point of, how many tanks are you going to build? Um, I think I'll just put the radiator system on there. I mean, it's a large tank, so we were taught, that can hold quite a bit of capacity, and we were talking about. Oh, you know what? This is also because the gas generator was running. So that's actually probably where most of that heat came from, because all the exhaust from that would have come back through the system. Um, yeah. So the thought is to actually move this digital valve down one more and use another pipe analyzer on here so that we can read, or actually I can use it on the tank. Actually, we can just pull off the tank pressure. I don't need to do that. Um, so that if for some reason this backs up enough that it's going to blow the line, um, that it would basically, it'll override it and open up the valve and go ahead and let it go into the what? You making fun of the light pole? That's funny. Now, I have to put like somewhere in the base, I'll just have to put a random pole or pipe going through. Yeah, but um so yeah, I'm not sure where I want to put the ore system. And some of these I probably take back inside. No, we're fine. We can leave a little bit of stuff out here. Um, I do want it to tie into here because I want to split off, and anything that's an ice, it'll send over to this. And we got an autosave. Um, it'll send off to this smeltery. Um, yeah. Um, um, yeah. So we'll dump off into here, and we'll probably just tee it off. like do a junction or something, so that way we can still manually load something if we need to. But my thought, I don't know. Now we had talked about, which of course it has to be night. Where's the sun at? Come on. Oh, it's actually going to come up in a minute. So very nice. So, and here's where we just added the little furnace, where we bumped it in. Which, by the way, one of these days I actually got to make. Is everybody still spawning in on the roof of the base? Because if so, I need to put a staircase up there. I was gonna do a staircase and do some guardrails coming around. And then that way it'd be able to drop down. Oh, actually, you know what? That'll actually fix that. Where's 1, 2, 1, 2? Yeah, there's a seam on the stairs right there. Looks like. Oh, maybe not. That's the block. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Actually, so we can level that out and have the stairs come down, and it'll let me. I should have done that before. Actually, that's a really good idea. Because I could put one block there. It'll be a landing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then one of these days, I gotta run some guardrail around and get a staircase coming down. Make it a little bit easier. I mean, sure, yeah, everybody can just jump off and use a jetpack, but if everybody's spawning up there, I might as well set it up. I'll have to remember not to 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, maybe I'll skip a row with solar panels because I can just see people spawning in and not being able to get to the staircase. So yeah, so here's the. I'm not ignoring it. I'm just trying to get on with the the whole furnace thing. So my thought was to push out. I don't know where I want the ore drop off at, basically. I mean, honestly, it would probably be. Yeah, no, I don't know. Wherever we're going to put it, it's probably going to be kind of a pain. I mean, we can run chutes down over that way, all the way over there. I really think it should maybe be on this side. Maybe we'll do it off of here. I mean, where we drop it off doesn't matter. Where we like retrieve the ingots from. Oh, that's true. Actually, you know what I was gonna do was I was gonna put grading down, and then do railing around it, so it's kind of like a catwalk. And I was gonna do that around the edge of the base, like just run a line. Like, well, for here I could just run it right off of this one, but run it down on either side. That way, you would have a way to walk around the end because I always have to jump over them when I'm, usually doing stuff up here. And yeah, the colored blocks. But yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know. Maybe we'll just do the ore drop off of here because the machinery stuff would be easy enough to move around. And I don't want to go back in there because then we have to wait for it to cycle. And what did this get down to? 58.3. So it's dropping, but slowly. So yeah, I think the next thing we're going to do, actually, before we do anything else, is add a radiator system onto this, which unfortunately, we don't really got a lot of room. Well, I mean, I can always put this digital valve over here. It doesn't really matter for that pipe, If we have one section or 6 sections, it's not really going to make a difference. So I guess we could move the digital valve down here and then I can run a pipe over, or even if I just do one, and then we'll dig a channel underneath, because I don't really want to have like an oddball piece of pipe sticking up. Oh no, actually, one, two, three, four. Oh yeah, because the 5-way comes up the other way, doesn't it? I don't think it really gains that much. I mean, it's still at negative 60 degrees out here. So, I mean, even the radiators don't, it doesn't make that big of a difference. I mean, I don't think it's going to be gaining any heat. Yeah, I mean, it's still cooling. Uh, Anything in direct sunlight inside of glass gains heat. I don't know about if, I mean, I'm assuming the tank is probably, yes, it's probably gaining heat, meaning that it's still cooling, but it's cooling slightly slower, but it still is still cooling. So, but yeah, I don't think the tank itself I'm going to worry about, but if we do put the radiators on, then yeah, I'll probably cover those. And maybe what we'll do is, uh, maybe what I can do is I can just put another row or two on this, you know, and have it with wall sections, basically, kind of like I did on the other side, and that way I can block it off. Honestly, I could dig it out underneath here. Well, I could. Probably don't really want to, though. Yeah, I mean, we're still cooling. It's just, it doesn't, it's just, yeah, with it being in the sunlight, it's not dropping off as fast. Oh, um, yeah, that is a possibility. I mean, let me see. Where is the, I was going to say, I could add it in here, but then I'd have to loop the line. Oh, hey, very nice. Fall in a hole. I'd have to loop the line around and up into here, which is not necessary. I mean, that's not impossible to do, but I was trying not to make it some big complicated, run a ton of stuff just to, throw some radiators on it to let it cool off. Because we do have inside that. Yeah, probably what I'll do is I'll just dig a trench out right here, and then I can just cover it over. Which I don't know if it counts as the decking stuff, if it counts as going through that or not. So I'll have to check on that. I mean, I imagine it probably does because, you can see, you've got spaces in between it. But does the game actually count as the sunlight being able to penetrate that? I guess the way to tell is would you put a solar sensor underneath it? Because if the solar sensor counts as being blocked, then no. Huh. Yeah, 56.6. But I'm wondering if, you know, we've got 78% O2 in there. So it might not be that we were really losing the O2 or that the generator was using a ton of O2. It may be that this tank has just been filling up and it hasn't been able to get back in the base. So, yeah. Well, that's what I was saying before about pulling these out. If I pull these out and the sun can't, but I don't know if the sun counts as being able to shine through that or not. So we'll have to check on that and see. Because if that counts as the sun going through, then it's not really going to do anything. Because my thought would be is, yeah, if I do a strip or two back here, then I could cover it with these and it would look the same. Yeah, I don't know because that was the thought I had earlier is does this count as being, does this hold pressure in? Because I mean, I would think looking at it that, that should not hold pressure. So if you tried to make this your wall, opposed to like a steel wall, is it gonna vent out? Looking at it, I would say yes, that's gonna vent. But you know, all right, we'll let this repressurize up. But yeah, that's what we're gonna have to work on next is getting a radiator system working, because I think that is maybe that'll solve the whole mystery. Maybe it wasn't the generator using it all. Maybe it wasn't the base leaking. Maybe it's just all been stuck in that tank, which that's quite a bit. If there's 4.86 MPa in there, then granted it's at 60 degrees Celsius, so when it cools down, it's going to actually be a lower amount, but it says 78% of it's O2. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't want to have like just a ton of tanks, but I mean, if we need to, we need to. We could even get into using a digital valve, um, or digital valves. So if the gas is really hot, then it goes into a certain tank. If the temperature is lower in the pipe, then it can go into the next tank. You know, something like that. That way, because obviously, if we run the furnace and we're putting in stuff that's at like 300 degrees, it's gonna, of course, it's gonna try to equalize with whatever's in the tank. But if you end up with, I don't want to have a tank that's at like 22 degrees, and then you dump in stuff that's at 300 degrees, and it takes it forever. So I think it's gonna vary depending on how fast we can get the tank to actually cool off. Because if it did dump it in and it was at like 300 degrees, if it cools off in like 10 minutes, then that's fine. But I don't want, stuff sitting in there for, 2 hours, 3 hours or something and be like, as you can see, the base pressure is at 42 kPa now. So we've dropped 20 kPa. Well, that's why I have the small tank on the inside. Because it shouldn't, hopefully the large tank should never get big enough that it's going to dump in and overwhelm. And if it does, then we'll just put another small tank right here, and we can just have it equalize between the tanks. And then that way, if it dumps in, honestly, if it dumps in, it's probably going to blow before it gets to the tank anyway, because it's going to blow at that first pipe. Because that's as soon as it gets to, it's going to be over 60. So it should blow somewhere actually outside, which would be horrible because then it's just going to vent off into space. Yeah, I know. Well, that's what we don't want. But that's why we're going to have to wait and see what well, we'll throw some radiators in there. And by radiators, I mean probably like 20, 30, and see how fast we can get it to cool off. And, which it's doing pretty good at maintaining the pollution tank at the negative 60 with if it's just equalized to outside. I mean, this is kind of bumping it, um, which I should actually set that a little bit lower because I notice this is sitting around negative 58 all the time. So, and it actually shuts off at negative 58.2. It's just that this is being overridden by the circuit. Yeah. Well, we'll see how well it cools off first. But I'm kind of liking the idea of if we do a multiple tanks, then we have it controlled by digital valve, which tank it goes into. So that way we can, and then we can do a volume pump from one tank to the next so it can't backflow. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we don't run the furnace all that much, so it should be able to cool off between. But yeah, it's definitely worth looking into. Um, all right, so we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes for this episode. So we're gonna call this episode good, and we will pick up. Um, Probably not gonna do another stream tonight because I ended up doing 2 hours instead of about the regular hour. So, um, and it's hitting about 1 a.m. So, yeah, that is true. I mean, sometimes the smelting is longer, but we'll see. I mean, we'll kind of do a good, average on it basically. So that's fine. I mean, I watch videos. I don't always hit the like, you know, but it is much appreciated if you do like it. Um, oh, hang on. All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna call this. Yeah. Um, all right. Yes, we'll call this good for this episode. And yeah, we'll look at doing the radiator system the next episode for that cooling tank out there. And then hopefully it'll be the ore sorting system. We might be able to do those in the same episode. Depends on how much digging and whatnot and, we need to do for the radiators and stuff. But I don't think that'll be too bad. That should be pretty quick. The only thing, I'm going to have to smelt up some gold and stuff first, I think. Because the radiators take a ton of gold, I believe, is what they gold and steel, and I think that 64 steel that's the last of our steel. Yeah, so yeah, but we'll see. We might have to make up some steel first, and she'll just add more hot stuff into the tank. But all right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We got some progress made. Some things seem to be kind of working out pretty good. At least we're not really screwing with. Well, we kind of are because we're working with the cooling tank. But at least all the vents, whatnot, are up and running, and then we actually cut down a little bit of not throwing contamination in there from there now. So, all right, well. All right. Have a good night, you guys. And I'll be doing a couple of streams tomorrow. And I think I'll be doing at least probably one or two Stationeers and then at least one Hellion. No, I said I was going to do a Hellion today, but we ended up, I wanted to get this whole disappearing O2 taken care of. Plus, we got the power and stuff done too. So it was worth it. All right. Have a good night. I will see you guys in the next episode.